So today we're going to paint a lavender field. It's going to be so pretty. And I just have some paints on there. Make sure you just have your primary colors, but I added a couple of little extra. So I got some titanium white here, and I got just a regular white here. Titanium white, it can be more expensive, so I try to use it just for highlights. I got my lemon yellow light, and I have ultramarine blue, and I have a red, I think that's a crimson red, and a sap green, and a lighter green, green light. And I have burnt sienna and burnt umber. So you don't have to have all those, as long as you've got red, yellow, and blue. And maybe black and white, you know, in case you want to darken and lighten your paints. But I have those. You don't have to have those exact colors, right? But have something on your palette that you can work with. So I got a request for lavender field, or lavender flowers, or, you know. So I thought I would do a nice sky, and lavender and yellow will go nice together. So some yellows and lavenders, greens, and a little house. Some people like to draw out what they're going to do, you know. I can throw in a little house here, and some trees here, and a sky here. There's really not much to draw out, you know. You just know where your house is going to go, and your trees. I like to kind of do my sky first. You know, anything that's above my horizon line, I like to get that done and then work below my horizon line after. So that's the way you see a lot of my videos. I find it much easier, and it's more fun, and it encourages you to keep moving on. So I'm just going to mix up a little bit of purplish color for the top part. And just to get it started, we'll have a nice top. Because I want to go with yellows. No red, just yellow. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to mist it. I'm going to mist it with my magic mist. And I have a link below on how to make your own magic mist. But you can use water. So I'm just going to use my magic mist because it'll help me blend nicely, and it will help have the picture. See, I couldn't get that to move, but you watch. See how much nicer it is to move, see? And you don't have to use as much paint, so that's why I like using my magic recipe, so I can add it to my paints and add it to my canvas, so I can get my paint to move better, and I don't have to use as much paint then, and it makes a silky and smooth feeling on your canvas. Now, there we go. So put more on there. Yeah, and the canvas now starts to behave like oils. You'll find that your paint starts to become smoother. Your canvas becomes silkier, softer, shiny, and really nice. You'll have to try it. I think you'll really like it. So I'm just going to keep adding a little bit more of that. I want to come down too far. I want most of the sky to be yellows. Alright, see, I can get lots of area painted with. See? And I like the fact that some of that white is coming through, okay? So you can add a bit of white to your purplish color, and that will give you some of these nice purples and some different values of your purples. See? See? So just make sure, even if you don't want to mix it totally, that way you'll get more of a separation of colors and give you kind of a cloudy effect without having to worry about it. Nice. See, it's pretty already. Now, if you want a little more in here, you can certainly do that. Just go back and forth, long strokes, long strokes. See? Pretty? I want to start with some yellow already. So I'm going to clean my brush because I don't want it to turn green. So I'm just going to go in with some yellow. See? And I'm going to put that here. There we go. Now if you get a little bit of green, that's okay. The sky's got all kinds of different colors in them. You can add a bit of white to your yellow as you come down to brighten it up. It's making a bit of a noise there, isn't it? I don't know why it's doing that. I'm going to mist it again. And magic mist. Alright. Now if you don't have, like I said, you don't have to have magic mist, but you can certainly just use water. It gives a nice smooth blend. Pretty. Add more white. There we go. I'm going to come up into that blue a little bit. So I want to get a little bit of that yellow into that blue. See there? It's not turning green even. It's staying. It's really nice. I'm just getting some white down there and letting some of that white come through. Working on, so you're working on it, right? You're working on it. This doesn't mean it's going to be done all in one stroke. But you're working on it. You're trying to decide where you want your yellows and where you want your purples and where you want your colors, what way you want them to mix and match, right? So you're working on it, okay? We're working on the sky. All right, and when you're working on it, it could take a half an hour just to do the sky, or maybe a couple hours, depending on what you want. Nice. Nice. I'm going to sneak in. I got a little bit of blue. I put some blue on there with white. Let's sneak a little bit in here just to say that. Sneak it in. See? The more you layer your paints, the nicer it is. You know, instead of just a flat yellow. Maybe the darker blue skies coming through, you know, the sunset, if it's a sunset. Nice. Play around some white. We're working on our painting, working on our sky. We're not doing anything, we're not changing anything, we're working on it, okay? So when you're playing around with your paints and your skies and everything, you're working on it. You know. Okay, we'll leave it like that for now, and if we need to do any more, we will come back to it. So I'm going to take a small, flat, chiseled edge brush, synthetic, so that I can draw out my house. Now you can do it with chalk first when your paint dries, and then you can paint it in. So you pick out whatever kind of house you want. I'm going to put a house here somewhere, and let's see. I'm going to use my burnt sienna on my flat brush, get a chiseled edge, and then I'm going to draw it out. So I want a fairly big house so you can see it. It's just going to be a plain, simple house. Just a plain, simple house. So make sure it's big enough, because I don't want it to, once I paint it in, and I don't want to have to go back over it again. It's nice. Something like this maybe. So a straight line over and 2 diagonals going out on the sides, and then you attach those lines, or you meet up. Okay, so now we're getting it drawn out. That's good. And then when I let that dry, then we're going to fill in our house. And we're going to put some trees on there and our lavender field. Yeah, it's going to be nice. So let's get a few bushes going on there. Let's try, you can make your own green, or you can make your own green. It's a nice green. You can add some other colors to it, just to, so it won't be too green for now. And then we will add some bushes. So I just got a bristle brush. I'm just tapping on some bushes next to the house. It's all just something there to get it going. And we'll put some trees there too. Alright, there we go. Just a matter of going up and down and filling in the bottom. Just gives you something to work with. Background trees here. Just whatever's left on your brush, you can put them back here so that, like trees behind those bushes. There we go. So try whatever greens you want to try. Just experiment with them too, because that will give you an idea what kind of greens you want to use. What ones you like the best. Let's see what these greens are like. Oh yeah, they're not bad. Kind of add a bit more red. I don't want it to be too green yet. Well, I want to be green, but I want to do highlights and things. Just kind of see how when you just touch, how you get all these shapes without even trying. Your brush will do it for you, see? Nice. Good. So I'm just going to put a big old tree here. I'm just going to make the leaves first. So pretend you're making an umbrella. Okay, that's your umbrella. And then you can... Good. So just make whatever green you want. I'm just going to use my ultramarine blue and some yellow. There we go. See? You make an umbrella. There's another tree here. Big old tree. Go. Nice little trees, aren't they? Maybe there's a big old tree. I'm going to add a little bit of red. And I'm going to make a big old tree over here. Make my umbrella. And that's that one. Now it's a different way to make trees, isn't it? Okay, so I didn't press record, and so I did all the trees without you guys seeing it. So here's what I did. Rather than start over, because I may not get it done again. So they were dark as you've seen them, right? And all I did was I tapped into my yellow and some red and some burnt sienna, and just sort of making highlights. So whatever colors you want, mostly yellow, okay? So you want to brighten them up, and then just tap different areas to get those highlights, see? And you just do it in bunches so that you don't cover up the whole tree. You want to keep some of your under tree, right? You know, where your greens, your dark greens and things. So just put in these little highlights using reds, yellows, burnt sienna. Alright, just keep doing that. And you do it over here, okay? That's all I did. That's how I got these, as you can see, right? Just tapping on some of these yellows, reds, and you can tap into the colors, or you can do it separately. But I kind of like tapping into the colors like this, and your palette's a little dirty, so that's a good thing. And then over here, same way, you just tap on those colors. Alright, and I'll come back now when they're dry. Same over there. I used a little bit more burnt sienna over here because that tree was kind of a really dark color. So I want to highlight these even more now soon. But I'm going to leave them as they are. Just tap, 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 okay? And we will tap on some background trees that we can have in the background there, right? You can have whatever's left over on your brush, just tap off in the background as if there's some more trees in the background here, but they're a little more distant or don't have as many leaves on them, right? So you can do that there like that. See, it's so much fun just trying things out. I want you to do paintings, even if you're following along me or somebody else. Just kind of experiment with what you see, what you're going to get, you know, if you try to get exactly what you see in the video or in a book, it's going to be hard at first. You probably will be able to do it eventually, but still, if you're having some fun, just experimenting, see what's going to happen. Because all you're doing is putting your paint on your canvas, right? You're just putting tap, 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 tap. Just putting paint on the canvas is all you're doing, right? So let's do that house. What can we do with that? Let's see. Let's give it a brown, nice dark color roof. Alright, nice brownish. So we'll go to burnt sienna and burnt umber, or just any brown that you have there with a little bit of black added, or even blue to darken it up. Alright, and then we'll make this nice little roof here. I'm just using a flat chiseled edge brush, synthetic. So just use your bristle brushes when you're tapping and trying to get texture. When you're trying to do soft areas like skies and this roof, unless you're trying to get texture, just use this, your synthetic brush. It's much easier to work with. See? It's a nice color because it's just a nice color to have on your roof. Gives it a wood look, you know what I mean? Same as you're making a table, a cherry wood table, or you know, anything with a cherry wood look to it. It's a really nice color for that. Now if you're having a hard time getting a straight line, let's try this. Just get a ruler or some tape, you can put tape there, and just put it up for a straight line. I find this helps. Right? I don't want my arm to get in your way either. So, it's my problem, see? But you guys, you can just put a bit of tape across there and you'll get it. I'm worried about you guys seeing my arm. Oh, see? Alright, so probably I'll just, I want to try it though. It's okay. Not bad. So you're going to need something up here, like tape or a ruler or something like that, okay? But see, that's the beauty of this chiseled edge. It gets you some nice straight lines. See? Already it looks kind of like a wooden roof. Same with down there, see? Right, you could put that here. It's okay if I get a bit of paint down there. So you can make a nice straight line, but tape will be better. See? All right. Good. So the house is the beige color, and then we put, for texture, we will add our burnt umber, a burnt sienna, give it some texture. All right. Just trying to get some texture in there, and almost like a stucco house or something, you know, it's not like wood, or a little bit of shadow underneath there. Alright, so we can always add more after. I'm going to add some windows. So I'm going to add a really dark color, burnt umber, a little bit of ultramarine blue to make it almost black. And you can use black if you prefer. And we will add our windows. One here, one here. Touch and pull over, touch and pull over. Okay, so I just have a bit too much water on my brush, so I'll wipe that off. And I will touch, pull over, touch and pull over. You're almost better off waiting for that other paint to dry, so you have more control. Try to make them even if you can. Good. See, it's pretty easy to fix it. That's cute. That's cute. Let's do a door. Same thing, black. Take your brush. Now this one we went a straight line, and we touched, and we will pull down and pull over, you know, depending on how big you want your window. And I'll have to fix that one up over there. And then we'll have a door. So make a line. And then you can pull down. And I'm going to wait for that to dry so that I can start working on the door and the windows. All right. Now we'll work on, hello, we'll work on the house. Just going to play around with that roof for a minute. Just going to lighten up that burnt umber, burnt sienna, just to get a little bit of texture going on here on the roof. Well, it's too late. Okay, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want some burnt sienna with a little bit of white so you can see this, okay? I'm just going to scrub that. Now that's dry. Okay, that roof is dry, so right, just going to lay some little bit of texture in there. That's all. Just to give it a feeling of, I don't know, just more interest. You should put a little chimney on there. Would be nice, wouldn't it? Do you think a chimney would be nice? I think a chimney would be nice. Let's just put a, let's see. Maybe one right here. Flat brush. There we go. Right down on top of the roof because it's coming out through the roof. You got a chimney, it's going to be coming out through the roof. Could have been behind the roof too. Okay. And we're going to lighten that up with some burnt sienna and some yellow. There'll be a highlight. And lights on this side, so we'll highlight this side. Pull in. A little bit of white and yellow this time just to brighten up even more. You can see it more when you do that. Maybe even more yellow and white. Just mix up your yellow and white. My brush is dirty, that's okay. So I want that little bit of brown there. That's fine. Good. Now, so what can we do with these windows? Let's see. Got them there and there. And I'm going to widen them out a little bit more. Make them more square. I just use my burnt umber, my chiseled edge brush. Just trying to get that more straight. And I'm going to try to get some of that color back of the house. Get some white, yellow, and burnt sienna. Get that cream color that I liked. Go back to that cream color, and I want to see if I can straighten it out a bit more. All right, now good. So, we'll clean your brush. And we'll line out the sides of the, okay? So just get some white, and your brush is dirty, so you probably get some like a cream color. And what we'll do is, so now I want to add a little outline to the edge of these, just to highlight that window there. Okay. See how it makes it pop? Just use the chiseled edge of your brush. I'm going to add some red and yellow to make a kind of an orangey color with a little bit of burnt sienna. So I want to brighten the door up. Oh no, maybe I'll go back to the brown. I don't like that. Brown. So we'll probably add a little bit of highlight to the windows. Just on this side here because that's where the light is, and it's just kind of moving over a little bit, but it doesn't go all the way, so you can get some darks. There we go. Maybe a little bit on the door. Just some streaks. Just some streaks of yellows and reds. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is add a little bit of flowers. Just get a small chisel. So just get a small bristle brush. Nice little small one here. It says size 6, but it's pretty small. Look, there's the door. This is a 16 by 20 canvas. We're going to get green again, whatever color green you want. Probably start off a little bit dark, right? So I'm just making it with the ultramarine blue and yellow, but you can use these greens here, whatever greens you have. And I'm going to add a little bit of bushes around the house. Probably coming in through here and down through here. And I like it when they're on the house like that. It's nice. Some vines and stuff, you know, crawling upside the house. There you go. Now what I want to do now is I want to put some maybe this brush is a little bit too big, but just tap in some green under the window here as if they could have some flower pots near their window. It's nice. There we go. Now I'm going to take off the tape so we can see what that's going to look like. Because we have to work at the bottom now too, right? Okay, so that took some of the door and some of the house. Alright, that's fine. Not to worry. So take your small brush and add some flowers to your windows. So get any colors you want. Some red. Tap on a bit of red. Some red over here. And some yellow. The red looks nice. A little bit of yellow should be nice too. I'll get some more yellow. So a little bit of yellow. Just little taps. There we go. That's pretty. Good. And now, get your small flat brush again. And get your burnt umber. And go underneath here to make it look like, you know, there's a little windowsill, you know, that's holding the planter that's holding the flowers. Okay. There it is. Good. Pretty. I want to highlight those trees that are around the house. with some yellow, a bit of green, a nice light green. I'm just going to like that. Good. While we got our, we can also highlight some of these here while we got some of that out there. But I got too much water on my brush again. Too much water on my brush again. Some yellow and green. Just tap, tap, tap. Your brush will do the work for you. If you got the proper brush, you won't have to worry about trying to make the proper brush strokes. The brush will do it for you. See? See? The game put some here. See, the more layering you do, the more, but you got to have layers. You can't have just, you know, it's got to be layers of paint. See how you get the darks underneath the greens and, you know, things like that. So now we want to get the field, lavender fields. So now we want to get the lavender field started. So we need some green paint underneath just for our, we'll call it underpainting, or so just whatever green you want. Like I say, I'm just picking up some of that green there and some of my ultramarine blue and some red. And I'm just going to make a nice dark green, okay? Then I'm going to fill up this whole space. Now we can have a little path there if you want. Let's just get started with this first. Like I say, if you don't know what to do or you don't know where to get started, just do it. Just put something on there. You can always fix it up later. So I'm tapping because it gives me texture, okay? So this is just your underpainting. So we'll get all that done. So now we got that much done. Now the work begins. Now we're going to add a lavender field. Now we're going to add a lavender field. All we have to do is get lavender, so you can use any blue. I'm just using ultramarine blue, and it's on the blue side, so you won't add as much red. If you go on the red side, you'll add more red. We're going to go on the blue side for now. Might change it up as we go along. We'll see how it's on the blue side there and it's on the red side there. Now watch when you add white. See? See, that's the lavender. It's not blue enough. You just add more blue, more white, till you get that color you're looking for. So probably add some different values of lavender. Right? See? See how that's on the blue side? That's on the red side over there. So we're just going to use this color for now. And all you have to do is, we're going to make lavender. So you're going to take a fan brush. If you don't have a fan brush, you could try a flat brush or a bristle brush. Okay, I'm going to show you in a minute. So I like the fan brush because it gives me those nice shapes. Now the house is old, so it got buried in all the flowers and all the lavender fields, lavender. So I'm going to make it look like it was just kind of buried. Now you can make the house a full house if you want. You can have a path or whatever you want. Just tap on these, that lavender color. Trying to keep some of your green underneath. I'll show you now with a bristle brush what it's like. So here's a flat bristle brush. If you have one of those, this should work. Okay. Let's get your color. The white will bring out the color you're looking for, see? And you can also just tap using the, well, there's no chisel edge because of the bristle, but using the tip of the brush and just tapping on these nice lavender flowers right there. So you can do that, but you get different shape, but it'll still work. Okay. So I'm just going to continue on with the fan brush, but you can do that as long as you keep the green underneath. Keep some of the green. See? Just keep adding paint to your brush. If you don't have a fan brush, I find it really good for seascapes and trees and grass. It's so many uses for your fan brush. The sun is shining over here, so you're going to want some highlights. We can go back and do that after, but just going to show you. See how I'm keeping the grass, the green. So we got coming up here because I want to make the house look like it's, you know, it's sunk almost into all the lavender flowers and everything. So you can barely, you know, the house is, it's like there, it's been there a long time and not too many people used it, so it's practically buried underneath all that flowers. Look at that. And that happens sometimes, doesn't it? I'm going to take some white, highlight some of those. Just use the corner. There we go. Now we can put some more on there. Place some more, a little bit on the red side this time. Okay. Let's layer it. It's pretty simple. Let's layer it. So the sun is coming in, so it's going to hit off some of these areas. Some nice highlights here. Use some here. Use the corner of your brush to get some of those up there if you want. Get the bottoms of those so they go back into the ground. So all I'm doing is mixing up those lavender colors, and I'm putting on a little bit of white to highlight some of that. You can add some white to these here. Adding white, see, that's what really makes it nice. Now, what can we do? Let's see. Just trying to pick out where the sun is. A little bit of yellow to that, just to nice to have some brightness somewhere. That'll really brighten up part of the painting. Bring your eye to the center. Bring it closer to the house. Right, you see, it gets darker as it goes in the bottom. Just shadows here. Right. You want to highlight where you think the sun is hitting off. It's kind of nice, and see, that gives that really highlighted look. When your brush is dirty, you could use almost pure white in certain areas. So you just add white, pure white to your dirty brush, and you're going to get some of these really nice. And just stick them in somewhere where you think The sun is shining. I'm kind of on purpose leaving a little path. It's barely noticeable, but you know it's there. That was there at one time. That's pretty. It's better. There we go. There's a little bit here. Even it out a bit. Yeah, that's nice. Maybe there's some hitting off here. Yeah, I'll grab onto a couple extra ones there. See, it gives a kind of a, shows you where the light's coming in, doesn't it? All right. I'd like to do something with that chimney. What I'd like to do is, I'd like to give it a bit of a shadow. I'm going to use my burnt umber and my ultramarine blue for a shadow. So the sun is hitting off of this. Okay. I gotta put some of that brown on there because it looks like I'm gonna add burnt sienna and white. And I'm going to put that on right here to make that look straight. Just going to add some of these lighter lines just to give it some texture. Let's see if I can get that. That's better. Good. Give it a bit of a top right here. Just add interest to it. A little bit of shadow, something going on there, and maybe some white or yellow. Both. Let's add a bit of highlight on the top of that. There we go. There it is. All right. I think I'm going to get my 1-inch bristle brush and see how they all open up. All right. Now I have this one. This one's got a flatter top. I may have cut it. And this one has that, all the different sizes, right? These are chip brushes. They're called chip. So I'm going to try both because I want to put some flowers in here just for some color. So I'm just going to try some. I made lavender with the red and blue and more on the blue side. And I'm going to tap into white so there I get a bunch of white going on here with a bit of lavender, just so I can throw a few extra flowers in the fields. Maybe a little bit, not much, just a couple little dots of flowers going on there. Don't want to, overdo it. And I like to overdo things. I tell you guys not to overdo it. And here I am. I can't stop when I start. So I'm gonna go out to white. I'm not finding this brush is giving me what I want. Just a few little dots here, but they're coming off a little too big in some cases. So I think I'm gonna go back to the other brush. I like this brush. So we're getting one. Try to get one with those all different, like they're uneven, aren't they? I'm going to push in my hand to get it open a bit because it was laying around. it's important to keep your brushes. I stand them up like that when I get them cleaned and dry. So, let me see. Maybe this will be better. See how you get all the different looks? See that? So that's getting the flowers ready for you. So just got a few going on in there. Don't want too many. I like to have some lavender ones. They're a bit too bright, aren't they? Let's do lavender. I'm going to go on the pink side just to give some color. I'm going to add a bit more white. So you have to experiment with it because, I mean, sometimes it doesn't work out the way you like it to. Just a few extra flowers here and there. Oops. I'm going to ruin it. Just a few little flowers. Not too much because it's going to be a real mess if I add too many. I'm going to add some yellow to my dirty brush to get kind of a yellowish lavender. See if I can get some of that in there. Now you don't have to do this. I kind of liked it without it, but I started it now and here it is. So I'll leave that alone, that part. But add a bit of color. See how it added a bit of color? Right? It's just little dabs of yellow here and there. And little bits of maybe some red might be nice. Just kind of all these colors, see? It's still lavender, but look how pretty it is. So, get your long liner brush out and wet it and pull through a light green, yellow, and a little bit of blue added to it. That will brighten it right up, and maybe some white. And then we'll just add in a few little bits of grass, longer grass coming in here. White and your yellow and blue to make a bit of green. Add some water to your brush so it will flow. Make your green, add white. Turn it to the left and to the right and straight up. Cool. You can even add a few little daisies if you want to. Just add little dots of color. Some orange, yellow and red, a little bit of white. I'm just taking and going pull out, pull out, pull out, pull back. So, and that's all I do. Little flicks. And you can add some little ones here just to say that they're there. And then you can just add your little dots of burnt sienna, a bit of red or something just for tops. Burnt sienna red. Back your brush there. So cute, isn't it? That's nice. So to bring out the lavender flowers here in the front, we need to add a little more lavender to those. You can use a fan brush or a flat brush. I'll just use a flat brush because I don't know who has a... So these flowers here, brighten them up. So let's go back to our lavender color. Right, lavender with some blue and some red, and then the white is really going to bring it out. Now we want to brighten it up a nice bit because we're trying to put highlights. Alright, so let's get some of that paint off of there, and now, so we took off that paint there, right, but your brush is still dirty, but you took off the paint. Take off as much as you can like that, and then add your white only, and then start tapping on some white. Alright, I'm going to go back and add some because it looks like I lost some of my lavender. Alright, there we go. Just tapping on the chiseled edge there, that's all. Trying to be mindful of where the sun is coming in, okay? So still got to think about the sun. Makes some sense. kind of shadowy over here, so don't need as much. All right, there's probably a couple here in the front. If you lose your lavender, just go back and get some more. Nice. And if you want to add more lavender to it, just get the brush that you used to do the lavender on before, very first time. If you use a fan brush, you can go back in, get some more lavender, some white, right, and you can add more. Where you're adding a lot of stuff to it, you probably lost some, so you want to put some back in. Go for it like this. You know, it was too green, or if you put too many flowers in, just tap them out with, right? Just tap them out with these smaller lavender flowers in the field. Want to make sure that you know it's a lavender field, right? It's not just flowers. So it's kind of pretty. I don't know what you think. I don't know, do you like it, or, you know, I'd like to put a fence in there somewhere. I don't know where to put it. I'm not sure where to put a fence. Like I said, it's a painting that's, it's an older house, and it's left, just everything just grew up around it. So I think we should probably fix those trees. So just get a flat brush, add a little highlight to our trees. Just get a flat brush. Now they're brown, so you want to fix this one here. It's kind of bent. And now you can fix up whatever you need to fix up, and then you can add or subtract things. Take out what you don't like. And sometimes you can do that too. Take out what you don't like. There we go. Big old tree. I'm going to add a bit of white to my brush, so I can highlight that side there. The sun is coming in, huh? There we go. And I'm going to add some yellow to it also. And here too. And just a little bit here. I just want to give it, you know, so you can see the shape better. That's all, just to give it more interest. Now, as you can see, there's a lot there, so I don't need all that. So we'll go back in with the dark. Go in with your dark, your burnt umber, and your blue if you're going to have to make it really dark. And that dries, so you'll be able to get it done better. Alright, and then I'm going to add some just all right. There we go. So I'm just going to fix up a few little things. I'm going to get some burnt umber, some green. Burnt umber and green, yeah. And I'm going to put that here. Just so so it fits in with the ground there. And a little bit of yellow for highlight. Turned green because your brush is dirty and that's the way you want it. Good. So you just clean up your edges, that's all. Just make sure everything makes sense. Alright, try something else here now. I'm going to take some really dark green, which is my green, and some blue, some burnt umber. Darken up my green, a little bit of red, a little dark. It's nice and dark. Yeah, it's good. I'll punch in some shadows in here between the trees because I'm finding they don't have enough contrast to you know, contrast is what makes everything jump out. Right? This one got a lot of contrast. This is nice. See? We need contrast. We need darks against lights. See right here. Okay? And probably around here. Gives it more depth in that too, see? See, these are the things you can do at the end of your painting. So you can decide if you want to do this or you don't want to do it. Maybe you liked your trees the way they were. I'm just trying to show you different things you can do. If you don't have enough contrast, put some contrast in. Alright, and then, because you can always go on top of it again. Right? Like I'll go on top of that now with some yellow. And that will bring it out again in different places. Maybe a bit of red to give it some color. Oh, an apple tree. Yeah, maybe some burnt sienna. And yellow. Just play with colors. I like play with colors. I like that tree over there. I don't want to touch that. Just dabbing on a bit here and there of colors. Here we go. So you layer, right? You layer your colors. Layer colors on top of colors. See that? You get all these really pretty things going on. just trying to layer in some colors, that's all. Just want to brighten it up. So just want to add some colors on top of colors. Colors on top of colors. Right? This tree here looks nice when you get maybe bigger, a little bit going over the house a little bit. See how you can shape things up again? Right? Just move things around by adding some highlights to your tree and some shadows. Change it up if you don't like it, you know, just put color over color. Right. See, some colors. I just like to play around. Just like to add color, 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 color.